Hey everybody, welcome back to another general aviation flight. Today we're in Western Scotland, just north of Oban, and we're going to do a little bit of touring, check out some of the locks, some of the little castles. We're going to fly by Fort William, and I'm hoping maybe we will see the famous Hogwarts Express Bridge, the viaduct up over west of Fort William, and should be a good flight. I got Nick here. He's out there in the BA 172. Hey, Nick.
Hey, everyone.
And Willy Canuck may be joining us mid-flight. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm in the control tower right now. I'm not gonna lie, I had a bad curry last night, so I'll hopefully be with you guys soon.
There you go. So we're going to start up. Winds are kind of light out of the west, so we're just going to take off to the south and then make a right turn over the lake, and we'll be able to get going. So let's hop on board, and we'll get the aircraft fired up. All right, so let's get track IR back up and centered where we want it. There we go. Alright, so master's coming on. Get rid of the yoke, don't need it. That parking brake back on. Beacon lights on. Mixtures in, fuel pumps are in, tanks are on both. Fuel pump on, got a little bit of fuel flow. And we are good to start. So, beacon on. Throw my mag lights on.
TOS system test. Okay.
And engine's up and running. Get the avionics up. A little bit of power to the engine. Heard Nick just start up over there. I do have a flight plan program in just to help us get where we're going. Should keep us pretty safe. So the current altimeter 2992 or 1013 for over here in the UK. And we'll let her warm up. It's a beautiful day here. We've got custom scenery here at the airport, as you noticed on the thumbnail. Had a nice welcome to Oban sign, and should get some spectacular views of the Western Scottish Islands here. Alright, so taxi light coming up, and I am ready to go. So we're going to move over here to the left, and that'll get us out. You ready, Nick?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright, a little bit of power here. We're in the long grass. There we go. I'm gonna head over here to the little stubby taxiway. There we go. Nobody else coming in at the moment, so we'll take position on this side of the runway. And we'll get set up. So strobes are on, landing lights are on, everything's on, flaps down 1 notch for takeoff. So we've seen some pretty amazing scenery here. Nick and I did the Grand Canyon. Video came out a couple weeks ago. And Willy and I did the Rocky Mountains. Interesting coming out of Calgary and then landing in a small town, Golden, BC, inside the Rockies. It was a very scenic flight. And that was our last one. We've also done Manitoulin Island up in Ontario. So you can pull out if you want to line up on the left side of the runway. And then just, when you're ready, I'll go, and then give it a short delay, and then you can come out.
Otherwise,
And that way we don't get too big of a separation between us. So again, it's going to be a takeoff, and then going to probably initially climb to 2,000 feet. And we're going to follow the coastline up towards what is hopefully going to be a lot of very nice scenery. All right, you ready?
ready.
Let's get myself squared away here. There we go. Alrighty, there we go. Full power. Airspeed's live. It's 50 knots. Pulling back. There we go. Trim for the climb out. And 400 feet will make the turn to the north. Basically do a 180 to the right. Bring the flaps up. It's 400 feet. And we'll turn off the landing lights and taxi lights. Don't need them now. So typical day here, we got a lot of low cloud, little splotches of sunlight, and a chance of rain. So it'll be interesting to see. 700 feet coming in. And there's the airport down off to our right. Alright, so set up a track north, 2,000 feet. Start climbing out at 500 feet per minute. Let's see if we can see where Nick is. Ah, there he is down there. Alright, so we're tracking along here. This is Loch Lene. We're going to follow the eastern coast here. Up past this little inlet, and then there's another one that we're going to take, which is a little bit more significant. And we'll see how that looks. But already you got some beautiful views from up here. Coming up on 2,000 feet. Start bringing the power back a little bit. clouds are just kind of kissing the tops of the hills there. So I'm going to set about 2300 RPM just to keep a decent cruising speed. Fantastic scenery out here. Nick, you still back there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Alright, just not seeing you.
I can see you.
Okay, well, if you can see me, that's great. It is fantastic looking, that's for sure. Nick, have you spent much time up in Scotland at all?
I've only been once. There's what they call the Three Peaks Challenge, which is like a charity walk, but up the highest big mountains in England, Wales, and Scotland. So,
alright.
Scarfell Pike, Snowdon in Wales, and Ben Nevis as well.
Right. But I think Ben Nevis is it in this area? I can't remember.
I have no idea.
And let's get the wind option. There we go. Really get some gorgeous imagery when you've got broken cloud like this with the sun and the patches of sunlight. See it's not very windy, so the loch is fairly calm. As mentioned, there is a slight chance of getting a little bit of precipitation. We'll have to see. We're going to cut inwards. Shortly up at this little inlet we can see coming up here, and then we're going to fly in amongst the I guess the valleys of the peaks here. There you can see some of that awesome scenery there. Oh, yeah, there's Nick in the back there. Just a fantastic view. Of course, Oban is well known not only for the scenery and the area of Scotland it's in, it's also one of the more well-known whiskey distillery areas for the Western Islay type or family of scotches. There's the arm of the loch we're going to go up. inside. So keep track of where we are. It's easy to forget how far north you actually are, so summer times in Scotland can still be fairly cool. I mean, usually during the day they're alright, but cool at nighttime. And be still rather windy and rainy, especially up in the northern parts of Scotland. Buildings down there on the edges of the loch. Awful quiet back there, stunned into silence by the beauty of the landscape.
Yeah, just concentrating.
See the barren hilltops there and the little communities along the edge of the water. A long time since I've been up in these northern areas of Scotland. I think my last trip was mainly down in the lowlands around Edinburgh. Definitely got to get back out here someday. Come off the water here, and our course is going to lead us in between the mountains. So it should get interesting. Huh. So, if you know your history of Scotland at all, we are actually coming up to Glencoe, which was pretty famous as part of the movement of the English to put down the Scottish rebellions. Looks like turbulence here. We're going to be flying by Ben Nevis, actually.
Thanks.
A little bit of terrain glitching over on that side. But looks pretty impressive here. What we're lacking here is a lot of the animals, the wild sheep and the deer that you find up here. Yeah, I keep saying it. The scenery in this sim is absolutely fantastic. All right. That's what you get for looking outside all the time. I missed our turn. Alright, so do a turnaround here before we get too far. So I'm going to be coming back towards you, Nick.
No worries.
Actually, no. We'll cut across. I should be able to do it. I get us a little close to the ground here, but work around it. Get us back on course.
Howdy, gents. Have visual from your east, west. If I don't fly into a mountain.
Oh, you
500.
can see us, or you can.
I can see you. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Airborne and approaching.
Excellent. In the Seminole.
No, I. Long story short, I'm in DA-62.
Oh, well, okay.
Technical difficulty, shall we say. The Seminole was not looking very good when I came out, so
Alright.
I've borrowed the club's DA-62.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I've driven all the way up this coastline actually, and it's
Oh, I see you
It's
way out
funny.
there. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's good. This is probably, and aside from the very north up in Truro, General Groats area. The west is an area I haven't been to. I haven't really been west of the of Loch Ness, so this whole area out here is new to me.
Yeah, I've driven all the way up the west coast to visit all points in between up to Ullapool.
Okay, that's pretty remote.
Yeah, and the one thing I will say about the west is because of the terrain inhibiting quite a few passageways, you do get some really, really interesting roads, and sometimes you think you're going absolutely nowhere. The sat-nav's a lot of fun, and you can find a hotel in the middle of nowhere that when you're driving along to it, you think there can't be possibly anything along here.
Yeah. So Nick, climbing up to 3,000 feet here now.
Roger that, so I'm very close to you.
All right. I think the terrain's going to get a little bit higher out here. Oh, I can see both of you back there. All right. Very good. So we're going to come around the mountains here and take this inner little channel. Maybe we'll just go up to 2,500. There's the channel we're going to go down. Very nice. Ben Nevis is, actually I can see it from here. It's that higher peak just off in the distance there. Here. Yeah, and even when you think you're way out in a very remote area, you fly over a low spot and there's a little village. Of course, this would have been a fishing village or something early on, being on the edge of the water, which leads down to the bigger loch south of us here.
The thing we'll say about the West Coast, there's a lot of interesting and semi-secret military installations.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. And there's Ben Nevis there. To the right. It's kind of in the sunlight at the moment.
Been to the top of that?
I have never been to it, no. But I guess, as Nick was saying, it along with, what was it, Mount Snowdon, and what was the other one?
The three peaks.
Yeah. For those who wish to exert themselves and climb up them. You can see where the water would be running down these little waterfalls and stuff you'd get in real life. hills there. So we're gonna come around here and kind of follow a little bit of low ground here. Start working our way back to the north. Ben Nevis. Very nice. So we're on our way now to Fort William. Fairly large down at the north end of the loch here. It's also where you pick up the, is it the Canuck Railway? Can't remember the name of it. But then you can take it on a trip out to the west. Made famous, of course, by the Harry Potter movies. Especially one area we're going to be flying by. It's a point of interest that was added on the UK update, which is the Glenfinnan viaduct, which was the famous one from the movies. It'll be interesting to see. So we're going to descend now to 1,500 feet. Get us down a little bit for some views. There's Fort William there. Just imagine living there. Sights you'd be seeing all the time.
Yeah, Fort William's quite interesting. There's a gondola you can take to the top.
The top of one of these hills?
Yeah, sorry, I should have brushed up on my regional knowledge, but yeah, it's a very, very large hiking and mountain biking center now.
Ah, right, okay.
In the summertime, I believe there is skiing there in the wintertime as well. Although typically Aviemore is probably the better known.
Right. So we're gonna kind of come around a hard turn here over the town. Get a good look at it. Again, not a big place.
No, it isn't. There's not a lot there. There is a rock museum.
Ah.
So if you like gemstones and things like that, this area apparently is very well known for.
Cool. Alright, so we're going to head out along this way. fantastic. You can almost point the camera in any direction and guaranteed a decent view. So up towards the end here is where that viaduct is. See if I can find it. Okay. So it's going to be at the end here where we're going to make our turn onto the next lock, or actually the river shell. So it's not too far away. Take a look, see what we're doing here. Nick, you still good back there?
I'm still good.
So this is Loch Eel we're flying over right now. EIL. And then after we hit the end, there's a bit of land, and then we're going to turn at the town of Glenfinnan and head south along the river Shell for a bit. But just to the right will be the Glenfinnan viaduct. So it'll be interesting to see that as well. Pretty popular tourist place, even more so with the Harry Potter movies and books. Everyone wanting to see where the train goes across and where Ron and Harry are flying in the car alongside the train. Of course, in real life, it's a railway bridge that gets the train across a valley with a river in the bottom of it. So,
I'm trying to think what train it might be. There is.
It's the steam train that runs out of Fort William, heads up this way and across. I can't remember where it ends up. It ends up further out on the actual other side down the coast.
Hmm. There's a train to Oban from Glasgow. So I don't know if this route would connect to it. I suspect it probably does.
So you can see the town coming up. And the river Shell, which is where we're going to head down. Out of the, not this valley here on our left, but the next one over. Should be able to see the so in that sunlit valley there is where that viaduct should be, which is pretty nice to have the sun on it. I see it.
On your left or your right?
It's on the right.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
See it?
It's the sun's shining on it, so it really stands out. nice view of it as we go over. Let's watch the terrain though. We are below the levels here. Alright, there she is. I just need a big steam train puffing along. Oh, there goes Willy dive bombing it. Look at that. It's fantastic.
Ah, got it. Wow.
There she goes. Alright, so we're going to follow the river here. And just for some fun, head down to 500 feet here. So Willie, you know, Nick and I did the Grand Canyon in these 172s, right?
Yeah, I saw the replay of it. It looked amazing.
Yeah, it took about 3.5 hours to do the trip. I did it a little while ago in the T45.
Yep.
Took about an hour and a half. And couldn't fly the whole thing down as low just because of the speeds you were going at, but there's portions I was pushing 400 knots through the valleys in the canyon.
In the Cessna.
No, in the T45.
Oh, sorry, T45, the Goshawk.
The Goshawk.
Oh yeah, that's a hands-on, eyes open type of trip.
That was a lot of fun. That one will be going up soon as well.
That's not unlike the route I was hoping to try and do for us one day, which is often flown by NATO and Royal Air Force military aircraft for training.
Mach Loop.
It's similar to the Mach Loop, yeah, but actually part of it's right over my house.
Oh, cool.
And I'm back in formation after that little stunt. I'm sure there are kids on a steam train screaming.
Oh, I'm sure. Let's get low down here in the lock.
500.
Ooh. Holding a sneeze there. Alright. Well, it's time to head out of the lock. So I think we're going back up to 2500. Start climbing. Oh, you're not kidding. You are Titan formation. Well, you've got the power to do it.
It does help, especially when you go off gallivanting and you have to catch back up.
Yeah. And Nick,
That's,
you're still back there somewhere? Oh, I see you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just following behind.
Got your lights back there. Alright, so we're going to head into this valley here on the left and then continue to climb out. Stuttering here. I think that was while Willy flew right past me.
Is it fixed?
Yep. Yeah, before we started recording, we were noticing some pretty interesting stuttering issues and hesitations and stuff, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that. But for the most part, it's been fine up until you flew past me there, and it started stuttering again. Or more than stuttering, it actually was proper, like, paused hesitations. Not sure why.
I have a theory.
Oh, do share.
A couple updates I had to run when I was troubleshooting that. But as you know, the weird thing was my problems were actually causing issues for you guys as well.
Right.
Which is really weird. The one thing I haven't done is delete my rolling cache after the update. And I noticed on Easy's stream,
Yep.
he did a bit of a post-mortem investigation after his stuttering problem in Paris.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was one of the things he recommended, which made total sense. And I came up here, or was intending to get ready for our flight together today, fully intending to do that. And of course,
Got
as you
delayed.
know, I was
Yeah.
trapped in automotive repair hell. And yeah, so that could be part of the problem. So I will keep my distance when you're taking your landings, or I will come in after you.
Yeah, okay. So all the reading I've been doing about the rolling cache, though, is nobody really knows how it works. But its general consensus is if you're flying, and Gavin said this, if you're flying in an area consistently, like him in Europe,
Yep.
then it may be a good idea to have it on. If you're hopping all around the world, there's not much of a point since you're loading stuff in fresh every time you fly because you're in a new area.
Yeah, that's pretty much correct. It's meant to cache all the train data. There's a lot of data that comes into it, probably that people don't realize. So all your vector data, the way the mountains look, the way that in front of us right now is due to that data.
Topo, vector, meshes, and all that stuff.
Yeah, and it begins downloading the minute you boot in. So even when you're sitting on the runway for about 5 minutes, kind of getting ready, that is all loading into your area. The quicker you get off the ground, the quicker you'll notice if there's any kind of gaps. So yeah, it is a hugely useful thing, but I believe the consensus is that everyone agrees. If there's a major update to the scenery in an area that you do fly quite often where cache applies, then sometimes it's good to delete that data just to force it to refresh itself with the most recent version.
So
And it can cause problems.
something that he said, which I'm not sure is right, and I'm not exactly positive what he is referring to, but he said that, oh, he's going to delete it, and then instead of loading it then, he's just going to let it load overnight. Do you not have to be flying over the terrain for it to load in and then be saved into the cache? Like, I don't know what he means. It's like he's downloading a massive 200 gig file, and it's like, well, no, you're not. That's not the way it works.
No, it's a limit as opposed to a fixed block of data. So at the moment, for instance, mine's set to 80. I think I currently have buffered some of the region of 25, 26.
Okay, but say you have nothing in your cache. You clear it out to start fresh.
Yeah.
Until you fly over terrain.
It's got nothing.
It's got nothing to load in. So to say something like you're gonna delete your rolling cache and then I'll just let it load in overnight. Well, if you're not flying, what is there to load in?
That's a good point. Don't know.
And that's where I think some of the confusion that nobody really knows how it works. Like if you're flying consistently in the UK, I can see it being a big benefit, right? Where you load up and then it's got a lot of the UK stuff in, so it decreases your load times for all that. But anywhere else, it's like, well, you've got to fly there to have it load in, and if it's a rolling cache, not a hard cache. So you go hopping through Europe, it's going to write that, and then when you come back to the UK, that's now gone because it's been rolled over. It's going to have to load it in again anyway.
If it's run out of space on your limit, yeah.
What's that? Sorry, squirrel.
All right.
Saw building.
Scotsman.
What? Yeah. Hickney on the street.
You have his kilt up, did he?
Gotta go grab it. I want to go see what this building is over here on the hill. Might be a castle.
I'm not sure what castle's around here actually. Balmoral.
Where? No, Balmoral's not around here.
That's somewhere else.
Balmoral is
it's on the East Coast.
Sterling, Falkirk area.
Oh, it's around there. I never knew that. I've never seen it. So
I was there once. I was a young lad, 3 years old. I was over for my my uncle's wedding, and we happened to go there because the Queen was leaving. I think I remember standing on the driveway. I watched. Was I 3? Maybe I was the next day, just maybe 5 or 6. And then I remember running. Oh, it's a quarry. I remember running down the driveway at Balmoral, tripping and falling and breaking my nose.
oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is that's quarry for sure.
Quarry.
There is, if you may see, I can't tell you exactly where it is. There's a man-made lake at the top of the mountain, and that is actually part of a massive power generation.
Ah. A hydro.
Station. Yeah, so what they actually pump the water up, and they also try to catch rainwater, and then during prime periods, it's actually tunneled right into the mountain. There's 4 massive generators, and they'll drain out that lake through the generators into a lake at the bottom.
Very nice. And then they just pump
I
it
actually
up
went
again.
to visit that.
I wonder what the energy, between running the pumps and what they get out of it for
they get less, but
return.
Yeah, they get less, but it's not a. I think a lot of people do find that a bit confusing, but it's actually a money balancing issue more so than it is an energy balancing issue. So they will pump it in overnight when the price of electricity is low, because they consume electricity to do that.
Yeah.
And then they drain it during prime time when electricity is high, and they can sell it back to the grid.
Right. Okay, well, no, that would work.
So yeah, it's green.
It's just
Yeah,
that
those are probably not that great.
it's just that they're not doing a constant pump type of thing. So it's like, oh, we need
No,
extra energy now in peak, so we're gonna have to keep pumping it up to the top. It's a big
That's
enough
right,
reservoir that they don't have to do that.
Yeah, they can get about. I think they can get about 4 hours when they're operating
Wow.
as a generator. So it is a massive amount of water, and you can visit the installation. And there's a small bus that goes into a tunnel. It looks like something right out of Cheyenne Mountain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you go in deep into, because it is carved into the middle of a mountain essentially.
Sure.
I think it was built in the 60s. I'd have to look it up. I do apologize. I should come armed with the knowledge, but it is there. It is great. You can visit it. They drive right down into the heart of this mountain, which is a really weird and strange feeling. And they'll take you around. There's a kind of reception area, and then you can see the generators.
Yeah. I visited NORAD North up in North Bay when it was
Okay.
operational. That was their alternate, which was always fully manned as well. I managed to get in and get a behind the scenes there when I was in and had my clearances and everything. And
Nice.
yeah, it was very impressive, that drive down the tunnel. How deep are we going here?
Yeah, it's truly amazing some of the things that they made. Speaking of underground, did you get a chance to see the secret bunker when you're on the East Coast last time? Here.
Which bunker?
We've been near St. Andrews.
No, I didn't.
There's an old World War II. It's a Cold War era bunker that was
Right.
built in the 50s, and you can go visit that. That's really neat.
All right, so we're gonna
It
drop.
actually does have the. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we're gonna drop to 1,000. We're coming up for Oban itself. We're gonna fly over that, and then the airport's just off to our left at the moment, actually.
Now, Oban, on the other hand, is really big. It's for a town. It's quite sizable.
I think we're going to Oban. It says we're going there.
Oban.
Oban. Oban. Oh yeah, there it is coming in. Oh, it is fairly big, yeah.
You can never give credit to the Scots for spelling things the way they say.
Yeah, Oban. We got to say it in Gaelic or High Scots.
Probably something completely different.
Put on your Robbie Burns accent.
It's the Gaelic probably translate to where Frank left his shoe, or something like that.
See, one of the more fascinating ones I watched was the how you, by just going by place names, you can see the divide between where the Danelaw was, Anglo-Saxon territory, Celtic, Welsh.
Yeah.
You can actually see the dividing lines just by how places are named.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the territorial battles were numerous and almost infinite, probably for the better part of 400 or 500 years.
Yep.
Constantly changing.
Well, there's the town, the port. It is
Yeah,
a
Oban.
seaside town, like almost everywhere up here. It's got to be on the water to make
Okay.
any sense.
Probably say there's a population of about 20,000.
Yeah, it's fairly big. See again, a lot of hills. A very
There's a movie theater.
rugged countryside around it.
Yeah, it's Oban is quite isolated. It's on the other side of a mountain range. The road to Oban's really pretty. It runs along.
Sounds like a
River
Bob
Inlet.
Hope movie from the 40s. Road to Oban.
Yeah, it is. It's really, really pretty. It's a lovely trail.
Alrighty. So we're turning back to the northward and back to the airport. I'm going to kind of do a straight in approach for the north runway.
As promised, I'm going to let you land on your own, sir.
Much appreciated.
So hopefully I'll give you a little bit of a wing dip as I pass you.
Alright, so had the autopilot on just to provide a kind of stable platform for the cruise. Oh, there you go. Hey, no stuttering. That was good. Alright, so we're going to start coming back on the power. Get a little bit of turbulence here. Try to hold that 1,000 feet. We're going to watch the pappies, obviously. There we are. We can see we got one white. Bring that power back to 1,500. There we go. 2 white. Start trimming her back. We're into the white zone. First section of flaps. And we'll get the taxi lights and landing lights on. Now we're high. That's fine. More flap. And we'll come in on a 3 flapper today. That'll get our speed right down and get us descending. Maintain about 60 on this descent profile with three notches of flap. 500 feet. We may be a little high when we come in, but we got to get all the way down to the end anyway. There's one red.
Oh, it's pouring down here. I've got double rainbow.
Oh, nice. There's 2 red.
Never happens in Scotland. It's a lie.
A little bit of power. Don't want to get low here. We'll be in the water. All right, we're looking really very, very good here. Right around the center line. These are off. Throttle to idle. And we're down.
I think Nick's about a minute behind you.
Gonna run down to the far end here.
Yeah, bad visibility.
Well, it's fine for me over the field. I know I was saying to Nick earlier, it's too bad we don't see the same weather. Like, we got the same type of weather, but we don't have the exact same weather, so.
Apparently live weather, you do get that. People will see
live weather you will. With the presets, you just get the same type.
Yeah, which I can understand. I mean, to be fair, the live weather kind of amazes me that it does that.
Yeah.
Where
all right,
people see this.
I'm off the runway.
Okay, I'll wait for Nick to clear. You guys just call me in when I'm.
Yeah, I'm up at the grass parking. Oh, Nick's almost touching down. I'm at the grass parking lot here. We'll get a group photo at the end.
I'll just come straight in this time.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, we'll forget about that one.
We're parked. And the aircraft is turned off. Alright, let's hop outside. Ooh. Turn down my camera. Still got a little bit high from last time I was playing with it.
I was going to say, it does amaze me sometimes on like Gavin's streams when you're flying along with him and you see exactly the same cloud formation.
Yeah, that's the live weather is absolutely awesome. That you can see if you're behind them by about 40 or 50 miles and you see the clouds break, you know, and then 10 minutes later for you the clouds break. And it's like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to come off the runway now.
Okay.
Mike, okay to land?
You're clear to land.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so this was a fun one. It was not
Very
too
scenic.
long, very scenic. I'm trying to find places that are interesting to go to. We may look at going down to South Africa, to Cape Town, and go fly around Table Mountain. I actually landed on it early on when I took the Super Cub up there, the Cub, and landed up on the mountain, and then did a rolling start off the side of it. All right, so Nick's coming in on the taxi, and there. Oh, there you are. Yeah, you see, you just come over the trees. And you're down. So I was telling Nick before we started, I picked up that Airbus H-135 helicopter.
Yep.
So it's pretty good for where it is in development. Just gotta get a little bit of a handle on the landing and stuff, and then it'll be good for doing sightseeing in towns and stuff.
Oh, you guys are down the far end of the runway there.
Yeah. But I rolled all the way down to make sure that Nick could get off if he came in a little bit in behind me. Well, at least you're not. What was that guy's name? Big Donut or something? For that first big community flight we did.
Oh, yeah.
He was flying the A320.
Today we had
Oh, Nick, where'd you go?
Rob Roy.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the logbook.
We had Rob Roy out there. I don't know if you saw him.
Yeah. If you want to come around and point your nose in, I'll do a group shot.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Where are you going?
Those will not turn.
I had the
I
camera.
think I was must have been stuck in a foxhole or something.
Oh, it's all the good Scottish bog. There you go. Just come straight in, and I got the camera set up right there.
One doesn't want to turn.
Asymmetrical thrust.
Yeah. Indeed. Just easier said than done. When you don't have pedals. Hardest thing I can do is bloody taxi into a position. Look at that.
That's good. Alrighty. Let me grab the photo. We'll wrap it up. There we go. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Nick, Willie, thanks for flying on this sightseeing flight. I'm really loving these flights. It's cool getting out, nice and quiet, down low, and seeing the sights, because this simulator sure does lend itself to that.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
So we will see you all next time. Bye for now.